welcome to Singled Out Saturdays. Have you guys been waiting? I hope you've been waiting because this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's going to be exciting. So if you don't know, Singled Out Saturdays will take place via social media every Saturday. We will be discussing different topics that surround your single season, how you got single, why you're single, hearing different testimonies from different people on the challenges and triumphs that they faced and overcame, and just great things that happened during their single season. So with this being the first Singled Out Saturdays, I will take this one for the team. A lot of people don't know, or they only know bits and pieces of my story. So today, in all its rawness, I am going to let you into my story. I might cry, I might have an ugly face, I might laugh, I might have epiphanies. We are going to go on this journey together, but I just wanted to be transparent and to let you guys know what it's going to be about. So, where do we begin? Picture it. Sicily 19, no, let's picture this. I moved to Georgia January 17th of 2014. I had ended a relationship that I thought I would still be in at this day. And I decided to pack my bags, my dog, my kid, and drive to Georgia to be with my family. So January 14th, I drove, and that's when I made it here. It was crazy because you know how God tells you to do something? I don't know about y'all, but I suffer from delayed obedience. I'll listen, but it might take me a month, two, maybe a year. And so this was one of those times where it took me a little bit. And once I finally decided to move to Georgia, I was like, all right, let me be 100% transparent. I did not come to Georgia for Jesus. I came for the turnout. I came because nobody knew me. I had a babysitter, and I was going to wreak havoc on Georgia. And that did not happen. I did not even get the chance to go out and twerk, nothing. It didn't work. I ended up at church in a small group. Not only in a small group, but I ended up leading a small group. Don't know how. Don't know why. I can't even tell you what prompted me to go there. But I ended up in a small group, and that pretty much thrust me forward in my relationship with God. Left the small group, transitioned to a smaller church, and kind of just started to get stuff together. I remember I would go home home is Virginia, I would go home every month. I was going home. And so this one particular time I took my sister with me. We went to Virginia, and then we were coming back, and I had a black Versa at the time, hatchback, ugliest car in the world, but I had it. And my sister was in the car, I was driving, and literally the Holy Spirit just said as loud as day, 7-7-17. Minding my business, I had been on a year of no dating where I decided not to date anybody but Jesus, and I wasn't thinking about a man, I wasn't thinking about a relationship, but the Holy Spirit, clear as day, said 7-7-17. And I said, well, what is that? And he said, your wedding day. And I'm bawling. My sister, who's trying to discover if Jesus is real or not, is looking at me like I'm crazy because I know I heard Jesus. And even though she couldn't hear it, it was loud to me. I call my mom. I'm bawling. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting married. Crazy. Fast forward a year. Forgot about the word. Didn't think about it at all. And the Holy Spirit brought it back to me. 7-7-17. Now, didn't have a boyfriend. Excuse the dog. Didn't have a boyfriend. Didn't have a potential boyfriend. Didn't have a fiance. Didn't have a friend. I had nothing. And so 2015, I was like, all right, maybe I should kind of try and get out there so I can meet the guy. So there was, I'm not going to use their real names. There was Josh. So I met Josh, and he was younger than me, but cool, cute. All right, we can do this. You're going to be my husband. Obviously, that did not work for a number of reasons. Josh was a runner, and anytime there was a problem, he would run. Y'all say hi to Karen. Anytime there was a problem, Karen would run, Josh would run. Anytime I became the person that needed to get married. I became the person that needed to make this promise come to pass. Um, so Josh didn't work, and actually Josh and I went back and forth for 2 years, or not even 2 years, for a year and a half. So Josh didn't work, and then there was Jimmy. Um, and Jimmy was crazy because, and I say that with the purest of hearts. Jimmy was crazy because he was all for my idea. If I said, Jesus said, I'm going to get married 7/7/17, you're my husband, it's strategic how we met. He was all for it. Thank God for the Holy Spirit, because had I married Jimmy, oh my God, I would be in a world of trouble. It was, I'll tell you how close I was to actually going through with this. Second person I was potentially going to marry. I was so close to going through with this that he had actually went to the jewelry store and bought me a watch so that he could build up credit to get a ring. We hadn't even known each other a year. What? So, and out of the blue, I just was like, this does not feel right. This, like, it got to the point where his voice aggravated my spirit. And I just was like, okay, this can't be right. And I remember I talked to my mom and I was like, bruh, that's not it. That's not it. And so I'll never forget it. I was trying to figure out how to break up with him, and he called me, or he texted me while I was at work and said he was going on a fast and he couldn't talk to me. So I was like, great. I was actually thinking we should see other people. Boom. And he was like, bang. Ended that. I felt relief. I was like, I'm good. I'm golden. Perfect. So after that, I kind of was feeling defeated. So I did what I do best. I ran home to Virginia. I turned up. I turned up. I'm going to leave that for your imagination, but I turned up. And I think I was so mad at God because I was like, you interrupted me. You told me this was going to happen. It's not happening the way I thought it was going to happen. You got me out here looking like a fool. So I went to Virginia and I did everything I could. If it was in the Bible that God hated it, I did it, and I did it well. And thank God that he does not give us what we deserve, because thank God he does not give us what we deserve. So went back, I left church. I was like, I'm not doing nothing. All my pictures on Facebook was me drinking, turning up. It was a very dark place. Oh my God. It was a very dark place. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was that one. Yeah, I told y'all I might cry. We could cry together. Okay, but after that, I came back and I was still kind of on the fence about what to do, what not to do. Oh, backtrack. Let me tell you why I was so angry. I was so convinced that God told me 7/7/17, and I'm still convinced that that's what God told me. I just think I did not seek him for interpretation, and I went with what I thought it meant, or how I thought it was going to play out. So I had invitations. I had promise invitations. They said promise ceremony with no name on them. I didn't have a man, so there was no name on the promise celebration announcements. I had a venue. I had a dress. I was the crazy chick with no husband, but a wedding dress. I can't believe I'm telling y'all this, but I was that girl. And so obviously after all of that, I was like, I'm done. Went home, had my turn up session, came back, and I felt bad, but I felt like I was justified in being angry at God. So I was like, well, you made me look like a fool, so Jesus who? And I never forget it. I went and I was like, me and Jesus are on a break. We not dating, we ain't talking. And I think it was a little less than a year, I decided I didn't want to do this whole Christian thing, and it wasn't for me. So my mom hijacked me and took me to church, and she told the pastor that I had broke up with Jesus. And so I was forced to have a conversation that I was not in the space to have. But I never forget it. I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? Maybe I didn't hear Jesus or maybe I did hear Jesus, but maybe I heard it wrong. But I will never, ever, ever, ever in my life say Jesus said. You will never get that from me. I'll be like, I feel like maybe this, maybe that, but you will never, ever get me to say Jesus said, because I ended up looking like a fool. And so many people, men, it wasn't even women, it was me, my mom, and so many men we were just outside talking for like 4 hours, just having a conversation, just laughing, and it was the first time I felt good. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll give this Jesus thing another shot. Well, after that, I decided to, I attempted another relationship. This time was a little different because I never attempted the relationship. I didn't go seeking the relationship. And I did not go into the relationship trying to force marriage. I did, however, think that because I had 7/7/17 had passed, I had tried my hardest to make things happen. I did think that this was my reward for the embarrassment from 7/7/17. And it's crazy how naive I was when you kind of look at it, because looking now, no. But when I was in it, I didn't realize how much I still was trying to make it happen. Even though I wasn't as vocal about it, and even though I wasn't as conscious of it, I was still trying to make and prove that I heard God. I was trying to prove that that the promise was going to happen, and I had taken on that responsibility. So, needless to say, that relationship didn't work. But that is the relationship that broke me. And not even broke me in a bad sense, but that is the relationship that broke me to the point where I decided I deserved better, I required better, and I needed to figure out why I was not getting those things. Why wasn't it mandatory? Why was it okay for me to date these certain type of men? Why was it okay for me to live this kind of lifestyle? What I needed to know. And so what that did was that opened the door for me to go to counseling. And going to counseling, made me come face to face with some issues, some past issues that I literally buried. Ain't no cross there. We ain't gonna know where. Like, buried and forgot that I had buried it. And so being in a place where I went from relationship to relationship to relationship, seeking a marriage, not even a marriage, seeking a wedding, to I'm now in counseling, addressing issues of sexual abuse from 20 plus years ago. Yeah, that one was that took some time. Thank God for the person that he matched me up with to do my counseling, because she was patient, she's authentic, and she let me be me. And if I don't want to talk about something, I'll usually make a joke about it, or I'll dumb it down so that it's not that heavy kind of situation or topic. But she was very, very good in helping me discover why I had lacked self-love, why I was in certain things. And so that was very eye-opening to me. And so after counseling, and this was just recent because COVID, I haven't been to counseling since a little bit before COVID because of COVID. But I still had the question, why Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, Daddy, Abba, why on God's green earth, if you are this big God, why would you send me a word? I understand I probably should have got interpretation, so me being an adult now, I'll take that. But why, if you know who I am, you created me, you know how I'm going to react, why in the world would you allow me to be in a position, why would you allow me to be in a position where I look like a fool? Like, I don't get it. And now, if I had never been through 7-7-17, if I had never been through Josh, Jimmy, and Trey, I would have never went to counseling. I would have never addressed the demons that I had buried. I would have never addressed the anger issues. I would have never addressed the low self-esteem issues. I would have never addressed the things that I needed to get together before I met that person. And then God will smack you in your face with some truth, y'all. I asked a simple question. Don't ask God no question if you don't want the truth. But I asked God, why? And his response to me blew me away. He said, if I gave him to you now, you would destroy him. That was a gut punch. I go to church. I was a leader of a Bible study. What you mean I'm going to do? You will destroy him if I give him to you now. And just as much as I love you, I love him just that much. I thought that was kind of selfish, but whatever. I will take it. Fine. So now that has stemmed into singled out. And it has stemmed into me discovering what it means to be truly single. What it means to be a woman who is preparing to be found by her husband. I just had a conversation with my uncle today, and he was like, oh, you make me nervous when you say you're enjoying your single season. Me enjoying my single season is me enjoying my time with God, uninterrupted. It's me enjoying my focus being on God, school, building my business. And I was telling my uncle, the caliber of man that I'm going to marry is going to be completely different than the men that I've dated. And so if I'm requiring him to bring so much to the table, I have to be in the position where I myself am bringing something to the table. And not just, my waist ain't thin yet, but not just the thin waist. And, I have to be in a position where I'm the best version of myself. And my single season is the time I do that. And so that is where singled out came from. That's where it was birthed from. It was birthed from a place of trying to figure out. It was birthed out of a place of trying to make God's promise come to pass when that's not my job. My job is to rest in. Sorry, the dog hit his head. My job is to rest in what he said. And so, that's all I did. So I hope that this time of being transparent was eye-opening. I hope that it encourages you. I hope that it inspires you. Yeah, I hope it does that. But I love you guys. This was the first episode of Singled Out Saturdays. Next Saturday, I don't really know what's going to happen. We may have an interview. I will let you know. But I just wanted to share that. So share this, subscribe, tell your friends, love it, like it. And if you have questions, concerns, comments, I don't want your cries of outrage. But if you have any of the concerns of or comments of love, let me know. I love you guys. Happy Singled Out Saturday!